We have to be very strategic. Kama it's recalling those MPs, we'll have to recall them. Those are the kind of things that we are going to be doing from now on. Because how else are we going to deal with this guy? You have seen him. If he can do this to his own deputy president, what about a Mwananchi Raia over here? What consideration does he have for him? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Malia. I like it that you agree that civil disobedience is the only way to have justice now that the justice system has failed. We have also been given several good ideas about civil disobedience. Wallace has been campaigning for another idea I'm seeing is on the speaker panel. He will be able to tell us more about it. He has a very good idea that we can implement as soon as today. And I know Wallace is going to talk about that when I give him the mic. But Maggie, before I come to you, allow me to give Calvin the mic. I saw he was trying to wave. He has something burning in him.
Okay,
let me give him the mic.
Thank you very much, Bwana Chair. What I can say is this, Article 1 of the Constitution is very clear, that power belongs to wananchi. And that power can be exercised directly or indirectly. We have already have members of parliament. Those people are representing us indirectly. But if in any case there is a failure, people can act directly because that power is on our hands. So what can I say is this? What I can say is this. In order to help this our country, you must pocket yourself. You must find the way on how this country can be helped, because there are so many people who are really suffering because of these members of parliament. There are some policies which, if they implement in the parliament, can help ordinary wananchi. Today we have the three arms of government: executive, legislature, and judiciary. And when we look at these three arms of government, it's really confusing us sometimes, because we don't know who is who. And according to me, when I look at the judiciary, I see that the judiciary should be given a mandate of judging everything, finalize everything. But whatever we see, sometimes that if judiciary magistrates do this, there is a threat from the executive. Like that person of was the head of the police officer, who was to be arrested, and then yet the executive did whatever they did. What I'm telling you is this, my friends. There is no need of wasting time of expresses if we don't act, because storytelling sometimes is not helping people. I like what we call action. Action, sometimes when you put action, things can go well. Action. If you put actions, things can go well. But if we allow these people to continue like this, our judiciary
Did we lose him? Can anyone hear him? John, can you hear him? Oh, okay. Calvin, seems like we lost you. Maybe if you come back, we'll still give you an opportunity to speak. Yeah. But John, you've heard what Malia was saying, and that's exactly what we were also trying to talk about. I mean, the way to go is to ensure that the masses, first of all, before we even talk about a lot of things, people need to be enlightened, and that's why sometimes we host the spaces and things like that. The masses need to be enlightened, but right now we also need to look at immediate actions that we can take.
Nyinyi kwenye mnatembea, hii ushuru ambayo inapigwa, hata bibi yako itachokolewa. Maana hii ushuru ambayo naona hapa ni ushuru ambayo haiwezi nisaidia. Hii ni ushuru chungu sana, ushuru chungu zaidi. Sasa kama kila kitu inafanyika na serikali ya Ruto anaangalia, anasema kila kitu iko sawa na wewe unasafa. Sisi tunasafa. Sisi tunaangalia na juu. Wengine wanakula chakula, wengine wanaangalia kwa hewa. Nikimalizia ni hii. Nikimaliza na kinukuu.
Seems like he's gone again.
Unanisikiza? Una press viongozi zaidi. Mnasema ate fulani anatoka kwetu. Huyu ni mtu wangu. Haifai tunafanya vitu kama hivyo. Na waomba tafadhali, please. Let us stop these people. This issue of impunity must be stopped. We are very tired of impunity in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ivan. We are actually very tired of impunity in our country, and that is why we need to find the best solutions and the best alternative to the current justice system. We have to demand better justice for ourselves as a people, and we have to action to show that we are disgruntled as a people. We have to show, because we have not shown this yet. If we have a right to education, we have a right to high standards of attainable healthcare, and we still have to go to court to defend these rights, we are far away from being a democratic Republic of Kenya. And therefore, we need to action. We need to look for action, immediate action that can ensure that. And like I said previously, before the space went down, these rights that we have are not granted to us by the state. Nobody's giving us these rights. They're already there for us. So nobody's supposed to grant us right to healthcare, high standards of healthcare. We have supposed to get, that is by default. Nobody's supposed to grant us right to education. We are supposed, Calvin, mute your mic, please kindly. Nobody's supposed to grant those rights to Kenyans. Those rights are there for Kenyans to enjoy. Yeah, so let me bring in Wallace, then Maggie, we can continue the discussion. Wallace is someone who has been championing for a few things in terms of civil disobedience. Wallace, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I believe you can hear me.
100% Wallace, continue.
Awesome. Now, I like coming onto spaces, and you know me, I like being solutions oriented. And we need to agree, and we have agreed, of course, I think I heard Malia speaking, that we have a very big problem on our hands as the people of Kenya, because we have a rogue government, we have rogue systems, we have police that murder us, DCI that murder us and abduct us. We're just not living where our constitution is. If you compare our constitution with our reality, the disparity is just laughable. Because if we were living our constitution, I don't think even a single Kenyan would be protesting about anything. It was bloated, and we needed to fix a few things in it, but we would be fine. So now what we say is this: when you have an elephant in the room, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer usually is one bite at a time. You can't do everything in one huge move. Now, what happens is when you come up with solutions, most people, especially the most aggressive ones, and it's allowed, everybody has a different temperament and everybody has a different energy. You find that people do not know that peaceful and moral protests are extremely powerful. We've gone into history and we have shown people who did not resort, including why do we call Nelson Mandela very great? He could have mobilized his people into violent action, but he never chose action as the way to free South Africa. Mahatma Gandhi never used violence. They were over the Indians to the British population in India was in the hundreds of millions versus less than 1 million Wazungus. I think even less than 300,000. But still, Mahatma Gandhi chose what was called Satyagraha, if you remember your history. Peaceful protest that is powerful, and it's based on having more moral authority than your enemy, okay? Than your enemy who is in power. The British had the guns. The British had the collaborators. Likewise, even in our country, we know there are always collaborators. Those people who, when you're trying to plan your stuff, they sell you out to the government. They're given a few. There are those who sell out your plans, and there are those who are sold into your protests to actually do you harm or to do things that frame you. So what you realize is people do not appreciate the power of being able to, yes, there are times for hard maandamano, but that will only work when you have numbers coming out, those numbers that Malia has said. We have numbers, yes. We are the majority, yes. But as long as those numbers are not united, they are not in unison, they are not in common vision, and they do not move at the same time, those numbers are not helping us. Because the only power you have, let's say, when you concentrate light, you get something called dangerous. That is what is powerful. Unlike the light that is just spread out, which is regular light, okay? So the idea here is the first thing we need to do is let us work on uniting Kenyans. On what basis? Patriotism. Every Kenyan, all our challenges, even the times we have been most tribal, okay? Anytime you would see Kenyans go to the Olympics and you see Rudisha winning, or you would see our Rugby Sevens team winning, Kenyans would forget their differences. At that one point, we would all be one people. When Obama won, all Kenyans were one people. We were so excited. We were all adding O's to our names. I'm Okamau, I'm Omaina, saying Obama is our person. When Mandai won. So the idea is this: what brings Kenyans most powerfully together, and it ought to be the case, is patriotism. We have forgotten how to be patriotic because we just need a few to special events. Olympics are not every other day. Not every other day a Kenyan achieves something great that can rally us together. Yet these people are meeting in Bunge every day. They're having their scheming plans every day. So they are fewer, but they are outmaneuvering us because we do not have unity. We do not have consistent unity. We are not focusing on one thing at a time. One person is doing this thing, the other one does that thing, because Kenyans also like doing their own thing, especially if it could have some money in it or future political position in it. Kenyans, we know ourselves. We know ourselves, okay? That's why when you try and push for patriotism, that first calls for people to volunteer, to do something for the country for nothing. You don't sense any much passion there, okay? But that's why we are saying this. It's time we say we begin. Patriotism, we know we have it. We know Kenyans have patriotism. Look at the time we had the famine in Northeastern, the Kenyans for Kenyans initiative. How much money did Kenyans raise within like 48 hours? Kenyans are very compassionate. There are times even it might be a recommendee highlighting a case. This person doesn't have, how much money do Kenyans raise? So we know the heart is there. The love is there. It's that we are letting ourselves to be distracted once in a while, as we say. One time it's the impeachment. Do we care about the impeachment? Okay, we know that, of course, this guy is showing he's ruthless, whatever. But remember, it's now the wicked beating up on the wicked. While we people who are crying, it's like, I don't know if we're drawing some solace from seeing Gachagua being beaten up, but it doesn't help us. We need to remain focused on we the people. So what we are saying is this: we know as we the people, whom in that constitution, Joe, you are very good with, conversant with it, who are the sovereign. We know we are being disobeyed on a day by day. In fact, that impeachment, we said, sisi tulisema kufa dereva kufa makanga. We said they should both go. That's what we were saying. We said you can't impeach one. We know it's not in the constitution that you do that. So these three arms, the executive is disobeying we the people. The legislature, you see it approving something we the people have refused. They go pass a finance bill. The judiciary, there we go yesterday. They know we don't want one to go, they both go. But they pretend like, no, we can pass this. So we, the people, that constitution of Kenya is good, but because it said we delegated authority, we can see already they've been disobeying the authority of we, the sovereign people of Kenya. So number one, let us unite we, the sovereign people of Kenya, as the priority. Because then, even as we sing our anthem, we are going to be telling the world, we have a constitution. We, the people, are abiding by it. We are the sovereign. But the ones we are delegated to are disobeying us. And so we are revoking their powers. Even if they are, because they have the guns, we have not kicked them out. We will not use violent protest. But we are also rejecting any deals you get into with them. As per constitution, we shall consider them odious debt. We will not count them. We do not accept any deal that they have ever done that they did not use public participation to consult us and get us our approval as the sovereign. And then we can even start shaming countries that participate in their corruption, like China. But that's even going far. Let me start with the anthem. The anthem's goal is that unison of patriotism. The anthem does not belong to any tribe, so that it should stir tribalism. That's not our anthem. That is their anthem. It belongs to all of us. The anthem is a unifying thing. It's a patriotism challenge, because Kenyans, for too long, we have gotten used to waiting for somebody else to do for us. That's why we got into this mess, this personality cult foolishness that was driven by tribalism. Mtu wetu amesema, mtu wetu amesoma. That's why Kenyans didn't read the constitution. We didn't know we were to be consulted from the first day. From the moment that new system came in of county governors, MCAs, and whatever, we were to be consulted over every single decision via public participation. So, but because we are used to the old system of our man will defend us, but we found out now they've been looting us even before the new constitution. That's why they are trying to kill it right now. But anyway, this is the point. If anybody asks, the reason we are doing the anthem is patriotism first. Unison. Kidole kimoja kiui chawa. First, let's get the unison. Because at that point of level where all Kenyans are singing the same song, the same anthem, and speaking the same thing, people. Okay, hashtag we the people. This is a patriotism challenge. It's now about what can you do for your country? What does it cost you to sing your anthem? Because now I'm not telling you to come out. We know we go on the streets. Some are ready to go on the streets. Akina Malia and the gentleman who was here before. But we know right now their answer is kill them, shoot them, abduct them, so that you strike fear in others. And because there are people who are peace-loving citizens who are ready to protest, but maybe they have children, they can't afford to come out, or they are fearful. Never expect everybody to be the same. That's being ridiculous. That's why not everybody joins the army, or not everybody becomes a doctor. When you're going for, if you are going to be a doctor, you have to have a high tolerance for blood and gore. So I hear one of the first things they do is you are taken to a morgue, when you are trying to do med. If you faint, you're not going to be a doctor. So anyway, my point here is don't demand that everybody, because you want to go on the street, must come with you. Not everybody has your guts yet. We need you. There's your time. But let your time come when we as in unison are behind you. We'll already have developed that unison. So that if we say you're going to go and occupy a place, we are all behind you. That money we were able to raise for Kenyans for Kenya, we can raise to make sure you are staying in the street even for a month, if that's what we want you to do. But for now, patriotism is the thing to build. Unison is the thing to build. Hashtags and putting our voice together. And the reason we said the anthem is because now we can sing it in Kenya, all over Kenya, and all over the world with our fellow Wazalendo. And at the same time, open it out even to other people who want to stand with us, so they can stand and sing and stand with Kenyans. There are Nigerians who are interested in singing with us. There are people who have been inspired by the Gen Z movement. We make this a global voice level initiative. The world knows that the people of Kenya who are law abiding and who know their constitution have been disobeyed by the three branches that they delegated authority to. And they have revoked that power, but they have not resorted to gun violence. They have not gone to bullets. They know they do not have an IEBC. Even if they know even the IEBC, their means to revoke these people, the government is sitting on it. They are sitting on the power that we use to remove them. It will be a big shame to this country. It will be a big shame. Same time every Friday, 2 p.m., noon in London, 7 a.m. in New York. and then declaring our hashtags. I'll put some of them in the comments, because these are patriotism. We are calling people to patriotism. This thing of waiting for somebody to, that's why even people are started ruining Morara, because they're that regular mentality. Oh, we've identified Morara. And I'm not saying anything against him, by the way, please. I'm talking about the bad mentality we have. Let's send him money, he will do everything. That's laziness, Kenyans. Kenya will change because we all move together. Kidole kimoja. Why are you expecting Morara to, what do you think he can do to Ruto? Shame on us for being that lazy, for being that uninvolved. You think your money is all, we don't need money only, we need our hearts in these people. Because this is a challenge to our morality, our character, our integrity. Shall we accept this devil government to persist? Well, all we are doing is complaining in spaces, and everybody is asking, what do we do next? Well, no, let's unite fast. Let's raise this volume to, we know we are people who, when we hit Twitter with the real power, it trends worldwide. So every Friday, after we sing the anthem, people will hit their social media with the same message, with the same hashtags. It will always spike. Kenyans can do that. We know we've done it. People fear bullying Kenyans. Kenyans are dangerous on X, the online defense force. Now we are turning it on a few people. These are thousands of people. Never forget that. The reason we are singing also and taking video is so that Kenyans can always be reminded, we are the majority. It will build our confidence. It will build our courage, because we'll always see we are the majority. Stop focusing on a TV screen where they gather a few thousand people in Bomas. They have paid them. Each one of those people is there because they are paid. That is a fake crowd. That is fake support. When we sing for free, we are the real deal. We are the real people. We are the real public participation, not what they pay for, not what they buy. That's fake. So when we sing everywhere, and other people in other countries sing with us, and we start trending our hashtags, and we make it clear to the world, we, the people of Kenya, with our constitution, we have been disobeyed by these three arms. And we are declaring to the world, we do not recognize them. We have fired them. They are there by virtue of fact now, not by virtue of honor. We do not, in fact, we'll stop calling them Waheshimiwa. We'll stop using those titles. They are not that. What are you calling? He's what? Excellency for what? Murder. Kidnapping. We are not giving them any, we will revoke all those titles. We'll be calling him Ruto and Gashala, whatever name, they are not respectable. To be respectable, you have to act in a dignified manner, and a manner that respects this constitution. Those titles are in the constitution because you are following it. When you stop following the constitution, we do not recognize those titles. So we will let the world know that the people of Kenya, we the people have sung together, we are singing together, we are standing together, and we are rejecting all international deals these people have signed before that were not followed in process. And you know, of course, the West can't blast us as the people, because even them, they pretend to be holier than thou. You can't pull these corrupt deals in the West. In China, you are executed for corruption. That's how we'll shame China. We'll say, shame on you, you execute corrupt people in your country. You execute corrupt people. But in Kenya, you come and you give us fake SGRs, you give us your junk trains. I don't know where they got those were like mkokoteni. When these guys were doing campaigns, they had bullet trains on the poster. Bullet train like the ones in Japan. But delivery is it's like a kiosk on rails. That's what we were given as SGR at that price. Shame on China. And we'll tell them, we the people, we will take you to ICC. We will take you to whichever court there is. You explain how this money was spent, because it's written, it was sent to them. If the money went to them, they are scammers. To be very honest, if you go to a shop right now and somebody tells you, I'm selling you a Samsung Galaxy, and when you get home, in the box, there's a Nokia, that person is going to court and that person is going to jail. They have not delivered what you paid for. You must show what you have charged somebody is what is worth. So anyway, let me stick to that is why I'm saying, let's begin with patriotism. Do not look at this as a small thing. You see, when you call people to regular protests, understand, not everybody is ready to die yet. So they can't all come out for protest just yet, but everybody can sing the anthem wherever they are, and definitely on the streets. We make it a habit. Until we know this government is gone, every Friday we are going to sing. I'll put some of the hashtags in the comment section, and they are going to be, of course, on my timeline. If we are following each other, let's make sure we follow each other. But this is how we bring the unity together that is going to finish these people. We will raise this protest beyond their reach. They can try, and these things they are going to court and whatever is in Kinimacho. They are playing for us episodes of soap operas, so that, because they know Kenyans are easily distracted. For many years, Akina Real Joe know, the way to get Kenyans from thinking one scandal to the next was you keep shifting things. One time you're talking about Mahindi na Mafuta, then the next time it's Anglo-leasing, then the next, that's how Kenyans are distracted. They've read our book, they've written our script. If you want Kenyans not to be focused, keep giving them scandals. So before you go to your protest, kidnap Morara. Oh, where is Morara? There's no problem. Let's look for him, but you've distracted them. Or let's impeach Gachagua. They pass all those finance things while us guys are looking at the courts. We are all staying up late to watch. I wonder if, for goodness sake, are you serious? Do you care if Gachagua is impeached or not? Is that really a concern to you? We wanted them both gone. We know they are playing this thing, these three arms. They are against the people because, again, remember, they also are puppets. These guys who want to come and add bases in Kenya. If we shame them...
Unless I give you a minute to learn.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I give you a minute to learn.
Okay, sir, thank you. So let me be clear. Every Friday, 2 p.m. Kenya time, okay, we sing our anthem. You record yourself. You put it on your social media, X, Facebook, Twitter. We'll go to all social media spaces. Okay. Today is very rough draft because we started this yesterday, but we'll make sure every Friday, consecutive Friday, things get better and more powerful. But I'll share with you the hashtags. Let's follow each other. Come to my timeline. There's some images there. But we are saying we are Kenyans who are tired. We are for transformation. We are Kenyans for change. We have just decided it's now we, the people, that are stepping up and putting this thing down in unison. And that unison is going to be built beginning with the anthem and singing this anthem together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wallace. A lot of things you've said. And I wish to hear also from a few people. Ajuoga, you are here before the space dropped. Before I bring you in, Ajuoga, there are a lot of ideas that we want to now give, because here let's talk about how we want to get justice in our own way, method. And a lot of speakers have talked about civil disobedience. We are already, and I want to encourage you to continue boycotting Safaricom. Boycott Safaricom at all costs. Don't use Safaricom. I am asking you, beseeching you, boycott Safaricom. That is one way which we are exercising our civil disobedience. We need to have more than one ways of exercising civil disobedience. Some people have been suggesting that we go into vigils and silent marches. Wallace has been advocating for a very good idea whereby every Friday at 2 p.m., wherever you are in a matatu, people can just decide to stand up and sing the national anthem for a while and chant and record on social media everywhere, countrywide, wherever you are in the diaspora. Every Friday at 2 p.m., we can do that. Wallace, I think Friday 2 p.m. is one day only. If we can make it even twice or 3 times a week, every day at 2 p.m. and we chant, because it is chanting and singing countrywide, and we bring everything to a standstill every 2 p.m. This can be, I don't know, I'm just suggesting, Wallace, just to spice up your idea, because we need to show that we are disgruntled as a people. We need to show that. So Maggie, allow me to bring in Maggie. Maggie is my co-host here. John is also my co-host when Njiru. But allow me, Maggie, to bring in Ajuoga. Ajuoga was here before the space dropped. I've heard how Ajuoga speaks. He's a medic, and he will tell you about how Kenyans are dying firsthand in hospitals because of this sham called shift. Ajuoga, welcome to the mic.
Thanks so much, Joe. I really appreciate. I think there was an issue sometimes back, but it's good you brought it back on. I want to appreciate fellow Kenyans who have made it possible to endure the difficulties meted by this rogue system currently amongst us, like Wallace and most of us who have been consistent with the real issues that are facing common Kenyans at the household level. Just going straight to the point is that as I was saying, I think, Joe, you were in the space yesterday when we were ranting, and I said one thing. There is a very deliberate scheme by Ruto to ensure that he literally manages the whole system, the whole sector of this country. And it is something that is done in a more silent and stealthy manner that most Kenyans, wherever you are, you might not even notice. You know, right now, the person who is the deputy president is actually someone he can easily control, but is coming from a community that has no power of mobilization. He could have picked from a Luo, from a Kikuyu, or from Kalenjin, but those communities are having majority in them, and he cannot pick them. So he pick a weak person, and he pick from a community that he can easily manage. That just how Moi managed this country with a lot of atrocities between 1988 and 2002, when Saitoti was picked as the vice president, because he was coming from a minority community. You've also seen the issue of Adani encroaching all systems of basic systems that offer basic, fundamental or priority, needs for Kenyans getting in. Because remember, when something is basic, it means people will go for it. So it has a lot of money. And you've seen healthcare has been taken on board. I don't know how someone will be contributing 4,000 and getting a service of less than 1,000 in a year. I can't know that. I don't know how it happens. I don't know which earth that exists. You've seen airport, which brings almost billion every year. Hiyo pia ni Adani. Mambo ya ICT infrastructure is on the way. Our railway system is on the verge. So there are so many things going on that after 5 years, we'll have no country. And I'm very happy that this topic is here. What should we do? Ruthlessness is attacked by ruthlessness. Animosity is attacked by animosity. I was telling fellow Kenyans yesterday in a space that, Ruto haelewi kizungu mingi. Hizi kizungu sisi tunasema hapa. Yeye haelewi kabisa. Yeye ni mtu ambaye anakaa chini. And by the way, the NIS who comes into these spaces, we are not fighting Ruto as an individual. We are fighting a personality and a character encroached within our system, and is being carried by a body, and that body is called Ruto. We are not fighting Ruto as a person. We are fighting a character and a personality in Ruto. It needs to be known, so that people don't come out and say, no, you are sponsored those nonsense. No, it's not making sense. We are fighting characters that have encroached our system and are actually colonizing and enslaving Kenyans. I'm a medic. I've been in clinical practice for the last 10 years. This is the first year I have faced serious pain seeing dialysis patients crying with no help. It is happening here in Kenya. There are some who went to India before even this SHA came, wamekwama huko. I don't know if you're aware of that. If you call the government of India and they give you the data of Kenyans when you wamekwama India, you will be shocked. And if you look at the condition in which they are staying in India, it's terrible. These are things many Kenyans do not know because the government we have was put in place out of propaganda. Remember, and never again, Kenyans, even as we are fighting this, because I know the strategy we are going to lay from today or from the days to come will literally collapse this government. So as we move forward, let's also think that the atrocity being done.
The speakers of both houses of parliament, your leadership, the Chief Justice, your leadership, the Deputy Chief Justice, the Honorable Attorney General, all cabinet secretaries,
Malia, could you mute, please?
all county governors led by the chairperson,
Mute Malia, mute Malia.
of governors, all members of parliament,
Yeah, so I was saying that the strategies, because many Kenyans seems not to know, and I'm just bringing a context first before I bring my idea I just learned. The strategies we need to bring today are strategies meant for fighting mediocrity in its highest roots, animosity that's supposed to subvert the other animosity. And before I was telling you that the government, not even the government, the person we have at the help of our governance system today is not someone who understands the Queen's language. Huyu ni mtu ambaye anasema Kiswahili. Leo enda shika Wales. You know? Na unajua venye anaongea. Kuna kijana hapo anaitwa Wales, hakikisha hizo maneno zote zenye anasema asipatikane after 2 days, Wales ameenda. We need to know the personality before even we bring on the strategy. As we discuss the strategy, also Kenyans who have gone to school like myself, we need to literally bring in the context and know this and come out with a strategy that can fight animosity. We are dealing with a ruthless human being. I don't know if many Kenyans, you know me, I vied through UDA sometimes back. So I'm telling you somebody I know. Kenyans do not know Ruto. Ruto is someone that he has no sense for forgiveness at all. But he has a very high humor for revenge. And right now, there is a palpable intel that everyone who has, because right now they call it that Rigathi wanted to subvert the will of the people. That is how they massage it, to subvert the will of the people. And it really brought a lot of chaos to the extent that Ruto was even annoyed by the security agencies in this country. And so many things are happening. So going forward, we really need to know that it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of ruthlessness that is going to be meted on us. So what do? Strategy number one, to my thought, we don't need to go to the street without an objective. We know very well we have a problem with the Ministry of Health. We plan a day, we organize a day, we go to the, it can even be every Monday. So many Kenyans do not have jobs. It can even be every Monday. We go to Ministry of Health, areas where there are atrocities going on. Ministry of Health, IEBC, Safaricom. If we can plan strategically, and it is something that it is a vicious circle, you know, we move in that circle. At least every single week, we have to attack and leave a mark. I don't know if someone's getting this clear. We have to attack, but leave unforgettable mark. Because if you are in the street, they will abduct us and they will start saying that we have no objection, we have nothing we are fighting about. And for them, they are looking at that like, these are people who have been sent by someone. These are people who are being sponsored. You know, that is how they look at it. But now we need to be issue-based, issue-focused, and a very lethal. You know, when we talk of lethal, we mean even in the ICT space, even in the, you know, even within the social media spaces, we are lethal. We have nothing to leave aside. If you see him commenting about anything good is attacked. And this one should run through that vein from Ruto all the way to your MCA. These are brothers and sisters in the same village. They do the same thing. These are people, because if actually we are here because your members of parliament cannot be able to fight for your behalf. So if we have to fight anything that is going to make us actually have people who can be able to govern us well and change our governance system and listen to people, then of course we have to focus on the whole vein. I don't know why your member of parliament is sisi tulichoma yetu hakuangi huko nyumbani. Why is your member of parliament coming? What is your member of parliament? What is Mutuse coming to do in your village when already